Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the greatest battle you will ever fight is not with the world but with yourself? That the only thing standing between you and your dreams is not fate, not circumstances, not even failure, but the voice inside you that whispers, "You can't." I know that voice. I have heard it in the dead of the night when dreams felt too big for a person like me. I have heard it in moments of loss when life took away everything I thought I couldn't live without. I have heard it in silence when my heart was screaming but the world refused to listen. But today I stand before you not as someone who never fell, but as someone who chose to rise every single time. And if I can do it, so can you. Life is not a straight road, it is a winding path filled with unexpected turns. Sometimes you will find yourself lost. Sometimes you will fall so hard that standing up again will feel impossible. And sometimes the people you love the most will not believe in you. But hear me when I say this: you are more than your failures, you are more than your scars, you are more than the doubts that cloud your mind. The world will try to define you. It will label you too weak, too broken, too different. But remember this: no one gets to write your story except you. You are not a victim of your past. You are the architect of your future. And the most powerful words you will ever say to yourself are these: I can do it. Say it when you're afraid. Say it when the world turns its back on you. Say it when you feel like you have nothing left to give. Because strength is not the absence of pain, it is the courage to keep moving forward despite it. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for life to be fair, because it won't be. But you, my friend, have something far greater than fairness. You have resilience. You have fire. You have the power to take everything that was meant to break you and turn it into the very reason you rise. So today, let this be your turning point. Let today be the day you stop waiting and start believing. Let today be the day you look in the mirror and say, with all the strength in your soul, what if I told you that the greatest battle you will ever fight is not with the world, not with the people who doubt you, not with the obstacles that stand in your way, but with yourself? It is a battle that begins the moment you dare to dream, the moment you decide to step beyond the lines that life has drawn for you. It is a battle between the person you are and the person you have the potential to become. This battle is silent. It does not announce itself like a storm. It does not come with warning signs. It creeps in through your thoughts in the form of self doubt, fear, and hesitation. It makes you question your worth, your abilities, your right to chase what sets your soul on fire. It tells you that you are not enough, that you are too broken, too weak, too late. And for a while, you might believe it. You might shrink into the shadows of your own insecurities, letting them dictate the course of your life. You see, the mind is both your greatest weapon and your greatest enemy. It can either build you up or break you down. It can either push you forward or hold you back. Every day, you stand at a crossroads where one path leads to courage and the other to fear. The world outside can tell you 1,000 times that you are capable, but if the voice inside you does not believe it, nothing changes. That voice is the battlefield. That voice is what you must conquer. It is easy to blame circumstances, to point fingers at fate, to say that life has been unfair, but the truth is, external challenges are never as powerful as the limitations you place on yourself. It is not the failures that break you, but the belief that you are not strong enough to rise again. It is not the rejection that stops you, but the decision to let it define your worth. The hardest chains to break are the ones you put on yourself: the chains of self doubt, the chains of fear, the chains of what if I fail? Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced this battle. Every dreamer, every visionary, every soul who dared to rise above their circumstances has had to fight the war within. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck, not talent, not privilege. It is the ability to silence the doubts, to push past the fear, to decide that no matter what the world says, they are capable. You are not defined by the moments you have fallen. You are not the sum of your failures, nor the weight of your mistakes. Life has a way of making you believe that your setbacks are permanent, that your wounds are too setbacks are permanent, that your wounds are too deep to heal, that the person you once were is lost forever. But the truth is, every scar you carry is proof that you survived. Every failure you have endured is evidence that you tried. And in trying, in struggling, in refusing to give up, you have already shown more strength than you realize. Pain has a way of making us forget our own resilience. It convinces us that we are weak because we have suffered, that we are broken because we have been hurt. But being hurt does not mean you are broken. Failing does not mean you are incapable. Every person who has ever walked this earth has known loss, defeat, and disappointment. Yet, the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not the absence of failure, but the refusal to let it define them. There will be days when the weight of your past feels unbearable, when the voices in your mind remind you of all the times you weren't enough, when you replay every mistake, every rejection, every moment you felt small. And in those moments, you might feel as though you are drowning in your own thoughts. But you are not the darkness that tries to consume you. You are not the regrets that haunt you. You are the person who has endured, who has stood through the storms, even when the winds try to break you. Life will always test you. It will place obstacles in your path, challenge your faith in yourself, and push you to the edge of your limits. But it is in those moments of struggle that your true strength is revealed. Strength is not about never falling. It is about rising despite the fall. It is about choosing to believe in yourself even when everything around you suggests otherwise. It is about understanding that your failures are not the end of your story, but chapters in the journey of becoming who you are meant to be. You are allowed to have scars, you are allowed to have moments of doubt, but what you must never allow is for those scars to define you, for those doubts to silence you, for those failures to convince you that you are anything less than extraordinary. From the moment you take your first breath, the world begins to define you. It tells you who you should be, how you should think, what you should dream of, and what you should let go of. It creates labels, placing you inside boxes that are too small for the vastness of who you truly are. It sets limitations, convincing you that your worth is measured by how well you fit into the expectations of others, but the world does not get to decide who you are. The only person who holds that power is you. There will always be voices trying to dictate your path. Some will tell you that you are not smart enough, not strong enough, not talented enough to chase what you truly desire. Others will remind you of where you come from, using your past as a reason why your future should remain small. And sometimes, the loudest voice up to you to choose whether you will live according to someone else's script or if you will take the pen into your own hands. Every great story ever written was shaped by someone who dared to take control of their own narrative, someone who refused to be defined by what others believed to be true. Strength is often misunderstood. People think it means never breaking, never showing vulnerability, never falling apart. They associate it with an unshakable exterior, with the ability to withstand everything without flinching. But true strength is not the absence of pain. It is the ability to move forward despite it. It is not found in those who have never suffered, but in those who have suffered and still choose to rise. Pain is inevitable. At some point in life, you will face moments that leave you gasping for air, moments that shake the very foundation of who you are. You will experience loss, failure, heartbreak, and disappointment. You will have days when getting out of bed feels like an impossible task, when the weight of your own thoughts feels heavier than the world itself. But strength is not about avoiding these moments, it is about enduring them, about finding a way to stand even when everything inside you is telling you to fall. The world often glorifies perfection, making it seem as though true strength means having it all together. But the reality is, strength is messy. It is crying and still finding the courage to face the day. It is feeling lost and still choosing to take one more step forward. It is being afraid and still deciding to show up. Strength does not mean never feeling weak. It means acknowledging the weakness and refusing to let it define you. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced struggles that tested them. They have known loneliness, they have battled self doubt, they have fought wars within their own minds. Yet, what sets them apart is not that they never felt pain, but that they refused to let pain stop them. They understood that strength is not something you are born with, it is something you build piece by piece through every hardship you overcome. There will be times when the road ahead seems unbearable, when every step feels heavier than the last. But strength is found in the moments when you keep going, when you push forward even with a trembling heart. It is in the choice to believe in yourself when no one else does. In the decision to rise again after every fall. Strength is not about pretending to be invincible. It is about knowing you are not and still daring to keep moving. It is tempting to believe that fairness should govern life, that if you are good, you will receive goodness in return, that if you work hard, success will be guaranteed. But life does not operate on a system of fairness. It does not distribute pain or happiness based on who deserves it most. Some people will have opportunities handed to them, while others will have to fight for every inch of progress. Some will find love effortlessly, while others will endure heartbreak after heartbreak. Some will rise quickly, while others will struggle just to stand. But the truth is, fairness is not what determines the outcome of your life. Your resilience does. The most successful people in the world were not the ones who had the easiest journeys. They were the ones who refused to let obstacles define their limits. They did not wait for life to be fair before they took action. They did not wait for doors to open. They knocked until something gave way. They understood that waiting for fairness is like waiting for the wind to change direction. It may never happen. Instead of waiting, they built themselves into people who could withstand the storm, who could keep going even when the road was uneven, who could rise despite the weight of everything meant to keep them down. Belief is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. Before anyone else believes in you, before the world recognizes your worth, before success finds its way to you, it all begins with a single decision: to believe in yourself. It sounds simple, yet it is one of the hardest things to do. Because belief is not just about saying, I can do it. It is about saying it when everything around you suggests otherwise. It is about holding on when failure knocks at your door again and again. It is about trusting yourself, even when doubt whispers louder than hope. There will be days when believing in yourself feels impossible, when the weight of past failures, disappointments, and heartbreaks makes you question whether you are capable of achieving what you desire. There will be people who tell you that you are dreaming too big, that you are not talented enough, that you should settle for something safer, something smaller. Sometimes those voices will come from the people you love the most. And sometimes they will come from within you. But the truth is, if you do not believe in yourself, no one else's belief will matter. If you do not trust in your own potential, no opportunity will ever be enough. Belief is not about being fearless. It is about moving forward despite the fear. It is about standing up for yourself when no one else will. It is about understanding that your worth is not determined by your failures, that your dreams are not too big, that your potential is not limited by what others see in you. The most extraordinary people in history were not the ones who had the least challenges. They were the ones who had the courage to say, I can do it, when everything told them they couldn't. Success, happiness, and fulfillment do not come to those who wait for the world to validate them. They come to those who decide, despite every obstacle, that they are worthy, that they are enough, that they can rise no matter how many times they have fallen. Every step forward begins with a thought, and that thought must be one of possibility, of determination, of unshakable belief. When you tell yourself, I can do it, you are not just speaking words. You are shaping your reality, transforming fear into power, and setting yourself on a path that only those who truly believe in themselves will ever walk.